want to tell you about an important shift that's happened in the online business building space. If you're trying to build an online business, especially a business like mine, where you're building an audience, this is something I've been talking to all of my coaching clients about because I want them to know that the advice I was giving you guys like 7 years ago is not good anymore. It just doesn't work in today's society. I'm going to tell you why that is. In fact, Elon Musk said something the other day on Twitter about how he said, to the effect of, is TikTok ruining modern civilization? And at first I was like, yeah, it's what I hate TikTok, even though I'm on TikTok finally. But I was thinking about that and I was like, you know what? Actually, maybe he's wrong. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe TikTok is actually making things better. Now, hear me out before you go crazy on this, but let's think about this really, because here's the thing. What is TikTok forcing people to do? It's forcing people to have shorter attention spans. Is TikTok really doing that, or is that that's the direction that people are going and TikTok is feeding that? So maybe TikTok is negative to users in a way, but what is happening when you look at creators? So people like me who are doing some TikTok and doing Instagram reels and stuff like that, we're having to figure out ways to convey information in a much more concise format. Now, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that I am not concise, not in general. I like to do long ranty videos and stuff like that. It's fun. I enjoy doing that. As I've been looking at my YouTube numbers and I've been looking at the future and the way things are going, I'm going to have to make a shift here pretty soon here. Now, I don't have the time right now to make the shift. I'm going to keep on going to doing the 3 videos a week schedule I am right now, but pretty soon, when I get a lot of the stuff off my plate, one of my big projects is going to be to redo the way that I do video. And I'm going to start scripting out these videos. And I'm going to start paying attention to much more high quality edits on these videos and some more elements of capturing attention and making things more concise and clear so that I can convey more information in a shorter period of time. That's what short form video is telling me. That's important. And it's training people to demand that, to have it, to basically say, look, if you're not going to tell me what I need to know in 1 minute, screw off, dude. I don't care what you have to say if you're not going to say it in 1 minute. Now, that might seem like a bad thing. It might seem like it's destroying civilization, but it's also making things better. It's forcing people to a higher standard. It's getting rid of all the BS. You can no longer sit there in front of a video screen and BS anymore. You can't do that. So again, coming back to what I was saying with this video, this is important for you to understand whether you're a consumer or a producer. I hope a lot of you guys use the 70-30 rule and become producers. So here's the deal. About 7 years ago or so, I used to give the advice of one of the best strategies you can do is to be prolific. Now, I sort of picked this up from one of my friends, Pat Flynn. At the time, he wasn't my friend. He was some guy I was listening to his podcast when I was first getting started in business. And he really did help me out a lot because I used to listen to every episode of that. But he had kind of had this be everywhere thing. And he was saying, like, be on all the social media channels, let people see you all the time, and like get this exposure. And so I sort of adopted that. And then I started becoming extremely prolific. In fact, when I really blew up this YouTube channel, when I really got a lot of subscribers, was the time when I was doing 2 videos a day and 3 on Sunday. And I did that for over a year. That strategy doesn't work anymore. It's not a good strategy. Here's why. Because think of the era that we live in today. Back then, 7 years ago, 10 years ago especially, there weren't a lot of influencers. There were some. I knew all of them, all of the business influencers. I knew all of the podcasters in my space. I don't anymore. Now everybody and their mom wants to be an influencer. In fact, people's moms are literally influencers. Now, if you talk to kids today that are in elementary school, even middle school, junior high school, what do they want to be when they grow up? They want to be YouTube stars. In fact, they don't even say that anymore. They just say, I want to be an influencer. They want to be famous. They want to be Instagram famous. They don't even have any kind of value or anything that they're going to provide. They just want to be an influencer. So when you have that many people that want to be influencers, guess what? People who shouldn't be making content are making content, and it's useless, pointless content. It doesn't serve any purpose. So we are flooded with content. Now, the people who are actually influencers, who are actually teaching things, they're also being prolific and they're using all these techniques. Gary Vee is saying, hey, produce all these pieces of content, take one video, chop it up, make this. Everyone who is listening and going to those conferences, guess what they're doing? They're doing that stuff. A lot of them are. So you're seeing Grant Cardone, Alex Ramosi, you're seeing all these people doing this stuff. And so being prolific is not good enough anymore, because if you're prolific and you have junk content, it's just going to be noise. So the shift, that original advice I told you about being prolific, it still sort of applies. Like, it's going to be better than nothing. So for example, I had a coaching client ask me, is it better to do more or less YouTube videos? And it's like, all things being equal, if you're just going to produce average quality video, it'd be better to do more of them. You have more hits, you have more at bats, so you're going to get more hits. But that's not the case. Instead, there's Mr. Beast. He was on Joe Rogan podcast. My editor, Diego, was pointing me to this clip, and he said, hey, it's easier to make one video that does 5 million views than it is to make 100 videos that do 50,000 views. And that really struck a chord with me. I was like, that's right. Like, I've been looking at things the wrong way. I've been preaching this prolific drum, and I've been beating the drum myself. I've slowed down a little bit with that, but the puck moved on me. And I'm catching this on the short form video for sure. I'm not saying I completely missed the boat, because my Instagram is growing up real fast, over 100K followers on Instagram, and I'm not even shaking my ass. So I never thought I'd see that day. But what I'm saying is that it's shifting. So if you want to build a business right now, and you want to build up a following and you want to build up an audience, you cannot rely on being prolific. What you need to do, you need to be very specific into very specific niche. That's really important. It's hard to be general and succeed today. Very, very, very hard. And then the second thing, and perhaps the most important thing, it might even beat the niche thing, to be honest with you, is to have quality, concise content, not high production value. That's not important. It's good, but concise content. You need to be able to deliver in 1 minute what people took 10 minutes to deliver. It needs to be TikTok size, Instagram reel size. If you're going to make a 5-minute video on YouTube, it needs to be some impactful 5 minutes. It needs to be as good as 5 Instagram reels or TikToks that they're going to watch. You see what I'm saying? So you've got to really be more concise and be more specific. And again, this video is the antithesis of this. If you're watching this video is not going to get a lot of views because it's not concise. I could say what I'm saying. I'm at like 8 minutes here. I could have said that in 2 minutes. That's the value. If I took this video and I made a transcript from this, and then I took out just the important concepts and I outlined that, and then I re-record this video and made this 2 minutes, it would do 10 times as many views as this video is going to do. And that's a fact. Now watch this video next, 70-30 rule. You should be producing 70%, consuming 30%.